Daydream discussions, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Oh shit!
Oh
Daydream
shit!
Discussions number
We
11.
ain't been
I
here
think
in a minute.
we just had an awesome episode with Misty Eye.
Misty-eyed.
That was
Ain't nobody's named Misty, but they all got 2 eyes.
No, their eyes are misty.
I know. When I first saw it, I was like, Misty eyes? No, misty-eyed.
Misty eyed.
Yep. It's interesting that you can cry from happiness and you can also cry from sorrow.
Sorrow's more often happiness. If you cry from happiness, you were happy. Like you just got a brand new Mercedes. More. No. If there's a brand new Mercedes in your driveway, you're gonna cry from happiness. I don't deserve this. This is for me. But
no,
cry
I'd
from
be
sorrow.
like, who's paying that bill, or is that thing paid off? Like, what? You don't surprise me with shit that comes with money.
Yeah, that insurance bill is gonna be, or insurance payment's gonna be high as fuck.
Right.
Even if you did pay the car off, the insurance is gonna be high.
Well, it depends on if you keep full or if you go down the liability.
I got liability.
I do too. If I get my shit wrecked, I'm walking.
Yeah, I hope it's their fault.
Right.
Yeah, I hope it's their fault. I've honestly almost gotten into wrecks, and it would have been my fault. And I was like, bruh, that just would have fucked my shit up. Like, I would have. I got liability. If a tree falls on my shit, I'm fucked. They ain't paying for shit.
I don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm about to make a hard turn. Francis Ngannou is the scariest man in martial arts right now. And here's how I feel about the John Jones thing. I'm not going to say he's been underpaid his entire career. He's had a lot of issues in and outside the ring. Or I guess not inside the ring. Well, yeah, I guess if he had pictograms in the system, then that was while he was fighting.
It's because he bought. It's because he was buying that horny goat weed at the gas station.
Yeah, those gas station dick pills. But here's the thing. This is the fight to make. It's so iconic. John's the longest defending UFC champion ever.
All right, Bruce Buffer.
He was the youngest to receive it at
22.
light heavyweight, at least. He's gone up to heavyweight. He looks amazing. Francis Ngannou starches people, but John has always avoided defeat.
All right. John wins.
I feel like it would be a John
Decision. 5th round. It goes all 5.
I don't think John would make it 5 rounds with that puncher.
I do.
Because that Francis that fought Stipe is no longer the Francis that got pounded by Stipe 3 or 4 years ago.
He's different. He was the scariest, but now he's the scariest because he has discipline.
And it's crazy
he doesn't rush.
His fight against Jairzinho Rozenstruik, 20 seconds. He
Rush.
And I was like, when they announced Stipe, I'm like, that's not going to work. Stipe's going to avoid that shit. He's going to get tired real quick, and he's going to take him down and pound him again.
But then
that sprawl,
I was about to say,
that was textbook sprawl. If you're in wrestling and you don't know how to sprawl, go back and watch that video. That's a textbook sprawl.
And at that point, Stipe realized he was fucked.
Yeah,
he said,
like when he got back up, his face looked different.
He said, "Shit, I can't take him down.
If I can't take his back, I will not stand against him."
Because that's the same place to go with Derek Lewis, and we've talked about this off. Actually, I'm not gonna get into all that. But with Derek Lewis, it's if you take him down, he's done for. And that's what happened with Derek Lewis and Alexander Volkov. He was done for. He got taken down, couldn't fucking handle anything. And then in the fucking last round, with 20 seconds left, knocks out Alexander Volkov. But that was just some crazy shit. But when it comes to fucking Francis and Stipe, and once Stipe tried to take him down and realized he couldn't, and that's what he was supposed to do, that was the way to defeat Francis, he's like, fuck. Oh, I'm not just standing up for this motherfucker. I am fucked.
There's a compilation channel out there, and he does 11 minutes of so-and-so being so-and-so.
Yeah, I've seen those.
11 minutes of Derek Lewis being Derek Lewis is hilarious. Some of it's really cringe. I'm like, ooh, Derek.
Yeah, I 100% haven't seen his, but I want to know if we're because one I saw it was like 10 minutes of Floyd Mayweather being the best defensive fighter. So I wonder if it's the same guy we're talking about.
In this one, it's all just clips of people talking. It doesn't show clips of, or it shows
Oh,
very few clips of fighting. It might show an impressive knockout, but it's mostly them talking, being themselves.
oh yes, okay, it's different people. Yeah, because the one I saw was this fucking Floyd dodging different punches for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I've only seen two of them. He might have different editions. I saw Derek Lewis's and I saw Stipe's. I also knew Derek Lewis's. It was pretty funny.
Hell yeah.
I saw that Francis Ngannou was on a hot boxing with Mike, and he bit his ear for a picture after the
Did
interview.
he?
Yeah. He goes, hot boxing with Mike has me hungry, and he bit his ear.
Damn, I watched like half of that interview. Honestly, I boycotted hot boxing with Mike Tyson.
Is what they did at Eben.
Yeah, I boycotted it for 3 or 4 episodes, but I saw it was getting millions of views, and I looked at it as voting. I was like, my vote don't count. If I boycott it, he's still getting millions of views. They did Eben wrong. I still fucks with Mike. I know Mike. I wish Mike would have had a little more input and been like, hey, man, I like the way we're going, but we got to keep Eben. I wish Mike would have stood up for him. But besides that, I fucks with Mike, and I was like, fuck it. But I only watched half of the Francis.
And maybe he did. I'm not sure if it's if Mike privately owns his podcast or if it's like run by an organization in the background, so that they may have been like, hey, Eben's not the new direction. He's like, come on, man, I've had him the whole time. No, if you want to go where we're going to take you, you can't have him. So it could have been something like that too.
And that's what scares me, because it's definitely an organization. It's not only Mike. Mike's not the one pushing this content. It's not like he has a team behind him. No, it's like Spotify and Joe Rogan. So he has that big ass machine behind him. But it's like, it fucking sucks, because with Eben it was amazing, and we already know that Mike's been taken advantage of in his earlier career by Don King, and it's like now I feel like he's being taken advantage of by these fucking old white people. He's like, yeah, no, I want to keep Eben. And they're like, yeah, well, he doesn't work for our demographic. And then Mike's like, all right, you're paying me this much? I'm getting this much from ad revenue?
Hotbox and talk?
Because he always talks about it on there. He's like, I don't understand it, man. I just talk, people watch, and I get paid. So you know that's what happened. You probably try to be a stand-up guy for Eben, and they're like, no, because if we keep Eben, you're not gonna have this ad. And he's like, oh, well, that ad pays me this much money. Fuck that. I love you, Eben, but sorry.
At the end of the day, you gotta feed your family.
Exactly. So I can't be mad at anyone, but I did boycott it for a good 3 or 4 episodes, and I think it might have been Francis was the first one. I was like, fuck this, man, I want to see it, and I watched it.
And I feel sorry for celebrities sometimes, because unless you take your money that you've made and invest it as capital into money-making businesses, you literally have to be a celebrity for the rest of your life.
Exactly, especially
because like Mike Tyson can't go get a job.
Mm-mm.
He can't work unless he's doing something celebrity-like.
Yep.
He's either in the public eye or he's training some fighter.
Yep.
Which he's still going to be in the public eye. It's like, oh, shit, Mike Tyson's training so-and-so. So he's either public or he doesn't make money. And it's like, man. Like Michael Jordan can't go get a job.
Yeah, but he can make $1 million bet on one hole of golf, so.
True.
He can stay out the public spotlight and still get paid.
But if I made $1 million bet on one hole of golf, I'd be $1 million poorer.
Yeah. Well.
Not unless I was betting on you to lose and you allowed me to distract you.
Michael Jordan doesn't have those problems. I was in a doctor's office and I was reading a magazine, and it was Sports Illustrated, and I don't remember who the athlete was, but there was some athlete. I don't even think he played basketball. I think he played football, but there was an athlete betting on horse races with Michael Jordan. And he was like, Michael Jordan said, hey, he said, I'm going to bet 10 on this horse. Which horse do you got? He said, I got that horse. He was like, so whoever wins, how are we going to wire the 10,000? He said, 10,000, man. I meant 10 million. And dude's like, nope.
But see what I love about Mike from watching The Last Dance is the dudes that he would gamble big with, like playing poker on the plane between cities. They would gamble big.
So disrespectful.
I remember it being like so disrespectful. I remember them saying there was a couple guys in the back, and they're like, "Yeah, we'd never go up there because they were having fun gambling, and it's just not what we're into. So we just go to the back and do our own thing." And Mike would come back there and be like, "Hey, y'all want to like play cards?" I'm like, "No, Mike, that's not our thing." He's like, "We can do $1 buy-in." Like he just loved the competition. It wasn't the volume of money being played with. It was just a competition because to him, $10,000 was like $15.
But wait, you missed out on a very, very important part of the story. This is a disrespectful shit. Mike, we don't have that kind of money to be betting with you. It's not about the money. It's that I know that your money is in my pocket, and you know that your money is in my pocket. He's like, I want your money in my pocket. That's so disrespectful.
I don't care how much it is. If I take 50 cents, I want it to be yours and in my pocket.
Dude, that's so fucked up. I've never met anyone. Who do you think's the most competitive person that you know or that you've ever known?
Off the top of my head, that's really hard to say.
Me too.
I'm pretty damn competitive myself. But,
me too.
I do have a limit where it's like, okay, you're so much better, I don't care to play you anymore.
Right.
I don't know. Our dad, Big's probably pretty damn competitive. He plays 49 chess games at a time.
That's what I was going to say. Big's the first person that pops in my mind. That is a hard question off the top of the head, but Big's the first person.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Big. As far as people I've actually met, Big.
And see, that's my thing is I'm hella competitive, and I know not when to turn it off necessarily, but I know when not to be so aggressive, you know? Because even if I have to turn it off because it's just play and we're having fun, no, I still want to win. But I'm not going to be aggressive with it. And if it's like a work setting and we're doing, you know, customer service week and we're playing games, I'm going to win. I want to win, but I'm not going to be aggressive with it. I can't turn it off, though. And, yeah, that's definitely derived from Big.
And I love that in the UFC right now, there are 3 Africans who are world champions. That's cool.
Guess what I watched last night? Fucking, I hate saying guess what I watched or guess what I did because I don't want you to guess. I just want to tell you, so I don't know why I say guess what I did. But
see, when I say I actually want people to guess, like I'll say it to Wendy, and she'll just look at me like waiting for me to like break the suspense. I'm like, no, like guess. I don't know.
That's exactly. I don't want to get the I don't know. Just tell me. I don't want to get that. I like it when it's something that you may know. So, Bobby, guess what I got in the mail? And you're like, I know you were going to order that 85 South hoodie. Nah, man, portable sauna. So you had a clue. But this, you have no clue. But I watched Bellator last night. I think I'm going to get into Bellator. So Bellator on Fridays and UFC on Saturdays.
I have Bellator tattooed on my right leg.
It was so... I forgot to tell you this. I was watching Joe Rogan, right? And I don't remember who he was talking to. I think it was an MMA one. And he was like, I mean, you know, ONE FC's tried it. This organization's tried it. Bellator's tried it. But no one's as good as the UFC. You know, they got a monopoly on the game. But what the fuck is Bellator? Like, what does Bellator even mean? And I'm like, warrior. It means warrior.
Right.
I think it was Brendan Schaub. That's who it was. And they're talking back and forth. And Joe goes, oh, Jamie, you got something? He was like, yeah, it actually means warrior. He was like, why don't you call it fucking warrior? Why did you call it Bellator? And I'm like,
Bellator sounds really cool.
I finally knew something that Joe didn't know. And it's because my brother has it tatted on his calf or some shit.
You also know what kudzu is. Joe Rogan's never seen kudzu. That blew my mind.
That was something else. And I didn't bring this up, but it also, I don't know why trigger's getting used so much today. You used it once, and this is my second
Triggered.
time using it. But when Megan said Hollywood Undead said the wrong city or the wrong state or whatever, uh, I want to be like, I love going and watching the big time artists and they fuck up. I'm like, yes, they're not perfect. Because like, I've seen Wayne fuck up 2 or 3 times. I'm like, he's not perfect. Yes.
You said city or state or whatever. What if our home state was called Atlanta and the city that we like going to was called Georgia?
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta, but I'm about 45 minutes from Georgia.
Yeah, that sounds weird. That sounds weird. Holy cow.
Oh, man.
So where are you going this weekend? I'll go on back to Atlanta. Oh, what city? Georgia.
You know what confuses me is when there's a fighter from Georgia and they're like, this Georgian fighter, and it always takes me a couple seconds. I'm like, oh, they're talking about the actual country. They're not talking about the United States.
So on our way home from Georgia, there is a city called North.
What?
So those people live in North South Carolina.
That's so weird.
Right? And we were like, I wonder if there's a South North Carolina.
Dude, I would be, I'd have to live on the outskirts of it. I could not have my address be North. I feel like the USPS, UPS, Amazon Prime, FedEx, they'd fuck it up all the time. Hopefully they look at the zip code.
The people that first moved there let their kid name it.
Hey, where's this? It's North. All right, that's it.
Right?
We're North. Wait, is it in the North? Is it in like the northern hemisphere of South Carolina?
It's like middle state.
And it's a county? Is it a county or a city?
City. Well,
that's so weird.
It's in the country. It's probably like a very small town. It's probably one of those one red light type towns. It's really small. Or I say that, maybe you get off the highway and just blows up. You got fucking Chicago sitting there in North South Carolina. I don't know.
Doubt it.
Yeah, South Carolina is very rural. And it's weird because not coming from like South Georgia is very rural. Rural.
That's a weird word.
It is a weird word. I told Wendy the other night. Do you ever look at words and look at it and be like, man, that word's attractive to look at? Like, I like reading that word.
No, I like spelling certain words or using certain letters when I write them, but I've never looked at a word and been like, man, that's beautiful.
Soliloquy is that for me.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful.
It is. Yes,
say it again.
Soliloquy.
He did it with ASMR. Soliloquy.
Right? ASMR, like, the first time or the only time I've ever watched an ASMR video, it was like ASMR for beginners. So they're building a case for it, like trying to get you to be convinced that this thing is cool.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, like hearing certain blah, blah, blahs do this, and they trigger, there's that word again, certain like hormone releases, and you get serotonin and dopamine, and like it relaxes you and you feel good. I'm like, all right, do it. And then you get to this.
Oh, it's so weird.
Or they start like scratching their nails on like paper.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the... It's so... The noises are so randomly placed. It doesn't relax me. It like alerts me. It's annoying.
Yeah, it makes me nervous. And I wonder if there's actually people out there that get pleasure off of it. Like, does it hit like the dopamines that they say it's supposed to hit? And they're like, man. Because I've seen some shit where it's like a very sharp knife and it takes a tomato and it cuts it slowly. And, like, just a little bit of the peel comes off. And it's like, that's fucking amazing. I just got something out of that. But listening to, like, sounds very intensely but calm. I get nervous. I'm like, no, I don't like this ASMR bullshit.
Right?
I'm sure
it does feel like that nervousness you get when you watch a suspense or a thriller movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like a nervous, like, oh, I did something wrong. I might get caught. I might get found out that I'm not as cool as I portray myself to be.
No, you're uncomfortable.
Like, you're like,
I don't like
the
way
go in
that
that fucking room. No, don't, not that room.
Exactly.
Dude, we were actually watching Supernatural yesterday, and I was doing that with Dean. I was like, Dean, don't do it. Dean, No, Dean, no.
Bruh, I ain't
And
watched.
he got messed up.
I ain't I probably ain't watched Supernatural in like damn 10 years or some shit.
It just ended that once last year, or maybe 2019. They did like 18
Wait, you
or
said it
19
just
seasons.
ended?
Yeah, it just ended. They did like 18 or 19 seasons.
Dude. Who's the other dude? Dean?
Dean and Sam.
Keep talking, man. I'm pissing.
I was like, I don't know why he's turning his mic off. I bet you won't drink it.
I'll do it for the ground. How much money am I getting for it? I'm gonna tell the whole
You to
thing.
drink your piss. You remember a plea for purging back in the day? They had Lyle drink his own piss. They paid him like $20.
Why does that sound familiar?
Yeah, they were like in some. I think they were like in a Taco Bell parking lot. I want to say the cops got called on them too, and then they had to explain that they weren't drinking alcohol. That's what it was. That's what the punchline ended up being on accident, because you can't purposefully get the cops called for a funny video. But the cops get called, and they were like, "Hey, we heard y'all had an open container," and it's like, "No, he's actually drinking urine." And they were like, "What?" Like, yeah, we paid him $20 to drink piss.
That sounds so familiar. And was that I wonder if that video can be found on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure it can.
Bruh, that's crazy. You fucking released something. Like, this is gonna be released in 2021. And if we ever want to go back and say, man, you remember that time that we talked about a plea for purging about pissing? Yeah, you were pissing too. Do you remember that? We can go look that up fucking 15 years later.
Right?
Like this.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. How that happened, I don't know.
Oh, I could tell you're okay, so I laughed immediately. I'm not even going to ask if you're okay because you look fine, but that was hilarious.
Bruh. I know what happened. Here's how I normally have my chair. So I normally have it this low. But I was fucking around and shit. And was like, I want to have it a little up. So, still get the top of my head, but you get the sweater a little bit. But, I went to go sit down lower than I expected the chair to be.
All right, dog, I need you to do something for me.
If it's drink this piss, I need $20.
Stay black, Nate.
Don't be whack, Nate. I mean, Bobby.